We've got an update on that fatal crash on on 95 in Stafford County. This is going to go up on our website, potomaclocal.com today. A grand jury has added charges against the bus driver, and in that crash were 5 people, including a 7-year-old and 13-year-old, were killed on just south of Prince William County, just into Stafford County near Quantico, in a bus crash. A bus, as you may have you been following along, you know that the bus was traveling at a high rate of speed. Traffic was slowing about 2:30 in the morning. This happened Friday morning, I believe, May 31st. The days run together, so I'm going to check my calendar. But May 31st was, I believe this is 29th. Happened May 29th. So additional charges were filed on May 31st. So looking here, this is our website, potomaclocal.com. Again, this story going up at 10 a.m. Anyway, Stafford Commonwealth Attorney Eric Olson basically says that the driver is still in the hospital. He is with guards. He remains in the custody of the Rappahannock Regional Jail while recovering from injuries in the crash. And he's got additional charges. This time he's got 3 additional charges for a total of 5 for involuntary manslaughter. You know, this crash here has gotten national attention. It continues to receive national attention. The NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, was in Stafford County over the weekend holding a press conference detailing their investigation on this. They said they're going to continue to be in the area for this week, maybe longer, looking into speed, driver fatigue, and of course, whether or not this driver could read road signs. Secretary Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, said that through police that this gentleman cannot speak English and cannot read road signs. And so they're also looking into whether or not that has anything to do with it. And we're going to detail that in our story as well, thanks to the help of the Center Square. Alan Wooten of the Center Square contributed to this report. The case has drawn federal scrutiny over the driver. His name is Jing Sing Dong, age 48, of Staten Island, New York. And this case has drawn federal scrutiny over Dong's commercial driver's license, his CDL. The U.S. Department of Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration issued a subpoena to New York State on Monday, demanding all documents related to the issuance of Dong's initial CDL, entry-level driver training, and his training, and the 7 CDL driving school. The state has until 10 a.m. Wednesday to comply or face potential penalties, including civil or criminal contempt. So the Center Square reports Dong immigrated from China and became a U.S. citizen, does not speak English, according to Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary. His CDL was issued by New York State in 2024. Most U.S. roadway signage and testing, including recent federal requirements for CDL exams, are conducted in English only. New York has faced prior federal penalties, including a loss of $73 million in April for failing to revoke illegally issued commercial licenses. The case has also highlighted broader concerns regarding CDL training programs and licensing standards. Dong remains hospitalized. He is in custody. He was initially charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter on Saturday. Again, as of this announcement from Eric Olson, the Commonwealth Attorney in Stafford, he now faces 3 additional charges for a total of 5 involuntary manslaughter. So you had a family of 4 wiped out in an SUV, and another. They were from Greenfield, Massachusetts. Another woman in another car, 25-year-old, also from Massachusetts, from Worcester, Massachusetts, was killed in this horrible, horrible incident that unfolded around 2:30 in the morning, Friday, May 29th. Awful, awful. And yeah. So they can't say there's any good news there, but other than the investigation is ongoing and they're working to serve justice. So we'll see what happens. Good morning, everyone. I'm Uriah Kaiser. I'm the founder and publisher of Potomac Local News. Thanks for hopping on our podcast today. We're live here on Facebook, YouTube, and X. If you watch YouTube, you can give us a like over there at Potomac Local, youtube.com at Potomac Local. We would love to have you. Please comment, like, and subscribe on this video. Let me know what you think. Have you driven a little slower over the weekend after this crash? Are you more cautious to travel on Interstate 95, especially it's the East Coast's Main Street. It's a major thoroughfare through the East Coast, and you never know exactly what you're going to encounter there. But given the nature of our neighborhood and how we travel, 95 is almost a regular street for us, for those who live around here. So we have to, it's one of those things we have to deal with in terms of getting around the area. And plus it was a deadly, we had a second fatal crash the following day on Saturday, this time in Caroline County, when a car with two women inside left the roadway, careened across the median, entered into oncoming traffic, and they were killed. So it was a very deadly weekend on this stretch of Interstate 95 through the area. So our prayers, our thoughts, our condolences to all those who are affected, and of course the victims who survive but remain in the hospital and are recovering and will be affected by this tragedy for many, many, many weeks and days and months to come. So I want to also jump in and talk a little bit more about what we've got on our site. So you can follow along here. We've got a lot of stuff coming today. So this one just posted, Manassas Park, celebrating its Pride Month. It's kickoff to Pride Month. Officials gathered yesterday, Tuesday, I believe it was Monday evening, outside the city hall to continue the tradition of raising the pride flag. So this is an annual thing. The city gets together. They sit out front in City Hall. That they do this for the Pride ceremony. They do this. I believe they do it for Memorial Day. They have several flag raisings at City Hall, but they take pride, no pun intended, in Manassas Park. Takes pride in being the first jurisdiction in the Prince William County area to celebrate Pride and making it a big deal. They've got a they've got a feature in their library which they're showing off. It looks like Pride Month display at the Manassas Park Library on view from June 4th through June 30th. So that's going to be at the Manassas Park Library. It's a neat library. If you've not been, they put their library on the, let me see here. They put their library in the new City Hall, which is their new downtown. So it's on Manassas Drive. And right near the train tracks. They tore down the old City Hall. They built a new City Hall a few years back. And I think going back to 2022 or 2023, they held ribbon cutting for it. And it's a neat place. Got a splash pad out front and a library in addition to the City Hall. And they've got some restaurants in there too. I know that All American Steakhouse has opened up. There's been some others. If I'm missing anything, and it's been a minute since I've been to Manassas Park City Hall, but if I miss anything, please drop me in the comments. Let me know what's happening in Manassas Park. If there are new things going on there, I'd love to know. We've got our police blotter up, several incidents in this police blotter. You can check it out, potomaclocal.com. This I'm going to comment on. We've got the story here, Martin Davis leaving the Fredericksburg Advance. This came as a surprise to me, as I think it did a lot of people. So in Fredericksburg, there's the Substack publication called the Fredericksburg Advance. And Martin was the founder of it. He described it as quote unquote his baby. And he is now leaving after 3 years of producing the Advance to start something called the Virginia Free Press. So Davis told me that this is going to be a new uh, publication covering statewide issues, and he's looking forward to traveling the state and talking with people across the state. It will be focused on technology. Davis declined to comment on who's funding it, but several sources tell me that it will be Stack Infrastructure, the data center developer that, if you've been following along with data centers in Northern Virginia, Stack is a major player in the data center business, and it looks like he will be launching a new statewide publication funded by Stack Infrastructure and focused on technology. He says that he's proud of the work that he did at the Advance, and I'd have to agree. I think they've done some great local reporting. Adele Office Connor, who was the reporter and managing editor, worked there with Davis. She's also leaving. She's going to the Fredericksburg Free Press, which is not affiliated with the Virginia Free Press, but she has done some great work when it comes to tracking spending over at the Fredericksburg City School Board, which those folks completely blew their travel budget. And going to conferences, they've gone to Hawaii, they've gone to Atlanta, they've taken first class flights, they've rented luxury SUVs, and the Advance has done yeoman's work on exposing that and getting that out to the public. So we do hope that work continues. I did talk with Leanne Van Dorn, who is the publisher of the Fredericksburg Advance, as well as Fredericksburg Parent Magazine, and she says that they have a new managing editor coming on, and they also have a new reporter coming on to cover federal contracting in the area. So that reporter is going to dig into what's happening at Quantico as well as Dahlgren and looking into some of those things. But uh, good luck to Marty. I've enjoyed working with him. I've enjoyed opening up the Fredericksburg Advance in my email box every morning. You never know what Marty's going to say next. Marty is he's first and foremost a editorial writer. He loves to share his opinion, and sometimes it's a spiky opinion, but he's got a heart for journalism. He's got a heart for seeking the truth, and really for education as well. He's got a heart for education and wanting to see the not only children do better, but school divisions do better as well, and digging into data and explaining that. So good luck to Davis. We'll be following him as he makes his move and launches his new statewide publication. Also, congratulations to 2 retirees from Stafford County Fire and Rescue, technician Doug Gress, who is leaving the department, as well as, I'm going to wait for my screen here to refresh here, but we have 2 technicians leaving the Stafford County Department of Fire and Rescue, and they digress. And my screen is of course my screen has frozen. Of course it freezes up. Why not do that? Why wouldn't you do that on a live stream? Am I still streaming? Can you still hear me? I wonder. Is my internet gone dead? Comment and let me know. There we go. Maybe it's just slow. So we have technician Grass and Battalion Chief Charlie Freeman. So there is Freeman right there. There is Grass. They are leaving. Thank you, gentlemen, for your service to our community in Stafford County. It's going to be a noisy week at Quantico. You can find all of that going on. It's going to be a noisy few weeks at Quantico. Got a story about Fredericksburg Gateway, Fredericksburg Ways Gateway Village redevelopment. So if you're in Fredericksburg, you can check that out. This is interesting. I pulled up from Inside Nova. They're reporting the Wartime Museum is suing the Hilton Foundation. It's alleging that the Hilton Foundation agreed to pay for the land and essentially pave the way for its new museum, which would be located behind an at-home store on Dale Boulevard near the intersection of Interstate 95. Now, if you remember years ago, that was a Kmart store, was the one of the region's last Kmart stores, and it's now an at-home store. And what they wanted to do, and this goes back to 2010, more than 15 years, but they wanted to put an attraction behind that store there. They apparently had a deal with the Hilton Foundation to put their attraction, their museum, the wartime museum, on that property, and it was going to be a major tourist draw where people could come see the weapons of war, the tanks of war. This is the same group that had the tank farm day in Nokesville, and they would use the display of military vehicles and people dressed up in military era clothing from World War II and World War One, and they would use that as a fundraiser to uh, raise money essentially for this larger development at the at-home store behind there, right in Dale City. And they pitched it way back when in 2010 as a tourist draw that would fit nicely within the National Museum of the Marine Corps, as well as the Army of the Museum of the Army in Fort Belvoir. So it would be positioned in between two tourist draws, and so they wanted to make it a military highway of sorts. So that is, oh yeah, this is a sad story. This is Zandra's. Hopefully, you guys are showing some love to Zandra's over in Manassas. They had their second location in Culpeper completely gutted by fire. Culpeper Fire and Rescue posting this photo you're looking at now on your screen. It's the brick building completely burnt out. The roof is burnt out. It is just completely lost. And the building says that the early morning blaze at East Davis Street in downtown Culpeper. So good for Manassas Inc. Historic Manassas Inc. for posting. They're raising money. They're giving, just helping out the restaurant. What kind of business is it? Thank you. Should have said that at the top. It is a restaurant, Zandra's Tequila Ria. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that, but they've got great Mexican food in downtown Manassas and formerly Culpeper. And so hopefully they can get it back in Culpeper. But looks like early Miguel Perez is the owner of Zandra's, and he served on many boards and in Manassas, and is just a very engaged business owner in downtown Manassas. So he's calling a catastrophic damage to building in Culpeper. The restaurant is a total loss. We are grateful beyond words that no one was injured and that everyone appears to be safe. So Historic Manassas Inc. posting to their Facebook page here that they are giving some love here to, there they are, giving some love to Miguel and the folks there at Zandra's, because they need it. They need it. So please go and say hi to Miguel and support Zandra's as they work to rebuild. If you're in Stafford County, you see a lot of police and fire and rescue vehicles between all the way through today. Then you're between looks like 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. around Gale Middle School. It's a drill. It's nothing big. It's planned, so don't freak out. Sheriff's office telling us that they're doing a private training exercise. And I guess when they mean private, they mean don't walk up and say, "Do you need any help?" They've got this, apparently. They don't need your help over this. So that's a look at what we've got on our website already, if you've missed out any of it. And then coming up today, as I wrap up this pod here, coming up today, we've got, let's see here, just checking our post here. Let's see, coming up today, we have got more on that bus crash that I initially read out to you. And we have got Fredericksburg. They're pushing for, they're redoing some small area plans, and they're looking at redoing the area near the fairgrounds, making that neighborhood a little bit nicer near the Fredericksburg Fairgrounds. So we've got a story about that coming up. We've got and the Virginia GOP had a meeting over the weekend, and there was some confusion over whether or not the GOP would protest 3 amendments that we have coming up on the ballot this November that has been pushed by the Democratic Party through. They want to codify abortion in the state. They want to codify same-sex marriage in the state. And there was some confusion over whether or not the GOP would oppose any one of these measures. And so there's a story there by the Virginia Scope who covered that. So we've got a link to that coming up at 10 a.m. So if you see something happening in your area, please drop a link. Let me know. Send me an email, news@potomaclocal.com, news@potomaclocal.com. It's the best way to get me a news tip. Show me what you're seeing by taking a photo with your cell phone, especially if you see a new business that wasn't there before, a new restaurant, something cool coming to your neighborhood. Snap a photo, send me a email. Let me know what's going on. You can also text me 571-989-1695, 571-989-1695. I'd love to hear from you. I love to get your emails, and just know that you are our eyes and ears out in the community. We can't do this without you. So please go to our website, potomaclocal.com, sign up for our free email newsletter so you never miss a headline. I put that newsletter out every day at 4 p.m. If you want to get a quick glance at what's happening, and if you want to go deeper, if you want 100% access to everything we publish, please consider becoming a member at $8.58 a month. It is cheaper than a movie ticket at any Northern Virginia theater you go to. And your membership goes a long way to keep things like this podcast, things like our coverage, the lights on, help keep those lights on in our newsroom. So that is it for now. We will see you soon. Again, send me a news tip if you see something happen, and have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk soon.